In a desperate attempt to get Arab Americans to vote for Kamala Harris after most of them have abandoned her this election because of her stance in Gaza, CNN calls on Bernie Sanders. Now, when Jake Tapper asked Bernie, why should Muslim and Arab and Palestinian Americans vote for Kamala Harris despite her horrid stance on the genocide that's happening right now in Gaza, Bernie responds by saying,
but to those people who are saying, well, I can't support Harris because she disagrees, Trump on that issue, even on that issue, is worse.
Oh, Donald Trump would be worse on that issue. Bernie, I'm not sure if you know this, but when it comes to foreign policy, there's actually not much more you can do to be worse than the candidate who is supporting a genocide. I felt like that should be obvious. Oh, but it actually gets even better. Bernie goes on to say that if Kamala Harris is elected, that they could move her left on that issue.
So if we are able to elect Harris, I think we're gonna have an opportunity to move her on that issue.
I'm so sick of this motherfucker, bro. How are you gonna try to gaslight Arab and Muslim Americans, trying to convince them that you can push her left on an issue which she promised over and over and over and over and over again she would not move on? But beyond that, Bernie, haven't we already heard this story before? Remember when we were all like, why the fuck would we ever consider voting for a segregationist as president of the United States? And you were like, because we can push him left. And 4 years later, we're still waiting for you to push him left. But all you did was spend the last 4 fucking years pushing his agenda and then making excuses when he fucked us over. To that point, Jake Tapper says, well, you know, Kamala actually used to agree with you on Medicare for all, fracking, and all those policies that you continue to support. But now she doesn't. So in other words, we know Kamala can't be pushed to the left because over the last 4 years, not only has he managed to not push Biden or this administration to the left, but Kamala has actually moved more to the right. What's even worse is Jake Tapper couldn't even bring himself to say the word genocide. He said Arab and Muslim Americans are choosing to not vote for Kamala because of her support of Netanyahu. No, Arab Americans and Muslim Americans are not supporting Kamala because they're tired of seeing their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their cousins, their aunts, their uncles, their family, their friends bombed into fucking oblivion. Not supporting a prime minister of a country and completely and totally rebuking genocide are two totally different political stances, my guy. But of course, Bernie didn't even bother to correct him. Not even Bernie could say the word genocide during that interview. So people, at what point does Bernie Sanders lying to cover up for the empire, lying to cover up for Biden, lying to cover up for Kamala, make him as bad, if not worse than them? I just need to know. Because I remember, he sold us down the river for a fucking position within the Democratic Party in the Senate. He got a senior position and did absolutely nothing when he got there. And now he's trying to get Arab and Muslim Americans to do what a lot of progressives did in 2020, which is vote for a genocidal, hawkish maniac. Can't say it enough, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck Bernie Sanders and his willingness to throw his movement under the fucking bus just to kiss the Democrats' ass and get a pretty little title in front of his name in the Senate.